I am just absolutely amazed and shocked. I cannot believe what I've just watched. Like, I'm genuinely in shock. So much has happened. We said, spoilers by the way, spoilers going ahead. We said goodbye to Ncuti. We reunited with Anita. We didn't see Susan. The Doctor and Ruby reunite. Omega was there for a little bit. The 13th Doctor was there. Billie Piper. Where there's tears, there's hope. I'm so happy. I think this really hit. It really did. First of all, I'm just going to say something out of the blue that I just really didn't like. I didn't like how Omega was... Oh, big Omega. We're bringing Omega back. And then Omega came back for about 30 seconds and then just got shot by a Vindicator. And oh no, dead. He looks really cool though. I will admit, Omega looks really, really cool. I didn't think they'd be able to nail him, but they did nail him. He looked very, very good. But he was destroyed way too easily. But the Rani is still out there. Mrs. Flood as the Rani is still out there. And the boss. Alright, Anita said to the Doctor, they said hello by the way. Who did? The boss. So, what's going on there? Is it another Time Lord? You know, the boss is quite a Time Lordy name, but it won't be Ncuti facing the boss. And that makes me so sad. It makes me so sad that he's gone. Say what you like about Ncuti Gatwa, but he has been an incredible Doctor, and I honestly have loved every second that he's been on the screen, and he has definitely gone too early, and I'm really upset about that. Something else I really, really disliked about the episode, where is Susan? I was waiting for Susan the whole time. When he landed in the garden, I was like, oh my god, it's going to be Susan's garden. Then, or when he went to regenerate and he was like, I don't want to do this alone, I was like, Susan's going to come in. There was no Susan. What do you mean there was no Susan? Enough of the negative though. I'm just going to, I haven't even made notes. Like, I couldn't even make notes when I was watching it. I was so invested. I was eating my popcorn. I was watching it. I'm just amazed. So, opening with, we learn that Wishworld is a Groundhog Day that constantly lives the same world over and over again, so it gets thinner and thinner. This is important, the thinner and thinner bit. The Doctor's falling, and then he gets caught by Anita. It was really cool seeing Anita back. There were theories that Mrs. Flood is Anita. This explains why Moffat had to read the finale script, which, you know, now makes a lot more sense than it did last week. Yeah, Anita was brilliant. She's always been brilliant. I loved Anita in Joy to the World. I mean, Joy got a little cameo at the end, the big star. That was nice. But yeah, Anita's back, and she is up the duff, which I don't think was relevant. I'm not really sure why they mentioned that. I don't know. I'm assuming the actor's probably up the duff in real life, and they had to fit it in somehow, maybe. And when Anita opens the doors to the Time Hotel, which lets reality bleed through, that's a really cool concept, I thought. Like, the reality bleeding through the Time Hotel. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. I think it's definitely a way... That's one of Russell's smarter ways of ending a finale, or getting his way out of a cliffhanger. Look at, for example, Rise of the Cybermen and Age of Steel with David Tennant, right? That episode ends with the Doctor being cornered by Cybermen and going, no, don't kill me, and then the Cybermen goes, delete, and then that's the end. And then in the first 3 seconds of the next episode, the Doctor just brings out like the Sonic or the little crystal thing from the TARDIS, and it just kills them all. And it's just like, oh great, we waited a whole week for that. Essentially in this, Anita saved him, whatever. But the way they got out of the whole situation being that if you keep that door open, reality bleeds through. So cool. So cool. And Anita was the perfect person to do this. And, you know, she was like, I've been looking for you. All these years I've been looking for you. So cool. And so, it gets you there, man. It gets you there. Because he left her. He did. He left her. And everyone said we wanted to see more of her. Although she did just keep saying, I'm just hotel staff. Which is a bit odd. Hello, unit. The reality's bleeding through. Oh, look. Rose is back because Conrad couldn't even comprehend the thought of a trans person in his head. So, you know, Rose never existed. So Rosalita, whatever he calls her, is back. And yeah, I liked it. But my favourite part of the whole episode, this is going to seem so stupid to anyone who doesn't get it. My favourite part of this whole episode was when the Doctor introduces Unit to Belinda and Poppy, and Murray Gold plays the amazing Where There's Tears, There's Hope, which is my favourite song in all of Doctor Who, my favourite piece of music that's ever been made, and it never got released. Murray Gold is like one of the only few songs, it was in the Series 10 soundtrack, it just never got released. I learned to play it on piano. I can play it now. I'm going to play it for you on piano now. Right, you ready? It goes on, but I'll leave you there. Oh god, I just pressed all the keys. But when I heard that, Oh my god. Like, it was such a weird feeling because it's one of those things you just never ever expect to hear again ever. And, oh man, I love that piece of music so much. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know what it is, but oh man, it was so good. That's my golden moment. Like, I just love it. I seem so stupid to anyone who has no idea what's going on. I love that piece of music. You gotta understand, Series 10 is my favourite. I love Capaldi, I love his wise words. And that was when he was dying, that song played, and it was really cool. And then the Rani comes along and she confronts Mel again and is like, oh, we meet again. I hate that line, right? I write scripts myself. I never ever write the line, we meet again. I think it is the most cringy line ever, but it comes from Mel, so I can accept it. But yeah, Mel's like, oh, we meet again, Rani, and whatever. And the Rani does a lot of exposition again. I didn't mind it. There was a lot, obviously, I just want to put this in. I watched the episode about 40 minutes ago, you know, and this was at the start, so it's been about an hour and 50 minutes, nearly 2 hours since the episode started. And I just want to say, if I don't remember everything, I'm sorry, but this is just I need to get this review out now. But she mentions about the blast from the Timeless Children, and that somehow has something to do with regeneration, or sorry, bi-generation, whatever. I'm not a big fan. Like, Archie Punjabi does nothing against Archie Punjabi, but the actual Rani character in this, I wasn't a big fan of, which I think you're meant to feel. And I'm glad she got eaten by Omega later on, and I'm glad that Mrs. Flood is still out there. It gives us an ongoing villain that we could maybe come back to in a few years, if we last that long, because the ending says otherwise to me. But I don't know. Anyway, look, I'm going to stay positive for now. So the Rani and Mel, they're confronting each other, and I think it is quite cool, the tension, even though Mel does sort of remember the Rani. I mean, you think about me every night before you go to bed. The Rani isn't that bad. You know, after everything that Mel faced with the 6th and 7th Doctor, the Rani isn't that bad. You know, she's just sort of a woman who just has a plan with science and then kills a few people along the way. Like, after everything they've faced, she's not that bad. I must say, I really was losing it during this episode when we found out that Poppy is real, and when the Doctor kept saying, "This is mine and Belinda's daughter, Poppy." I kept thinking, what, like, don't make this, I've just whacked the mouse, but don't make this canon. This cannot be, like, Poppy is, she can't be a Time Lord, like, this, I don't want the Doctor to have a child with this companion that they're platonically friends with. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The Doctor and Belinda were purely just friends, and I didn't like the fact they had this kid. And luckily it did get retconned in an amazing way. I think the retcon for this was incredible. And this whole week we've been thinking, what's inside the vault on floor -10? And it turns out Belinda and Poppy are in there. Unit and the Doctor, they put Belinda and Poppy, well, they were just going to put Poppy in, but they put Belinda and Poppy in the vault, and Ruby kissed the Wish Baby and wished for Conrad to be happy, which then erased him from time and erased the Wish world, bringing it all crashing back down. And if this was just a normal episode, this would be the climax. However, this is where they go and check the vault and find Belinda in the vault. But also Poppy's there as well. I like the way they did that. They made us think it was just Belinda, but Poppy was there as well. And then we're in the TARDIS and everyone's like, ooh, Belinda love. No, that's Mrs. Flood. But they're in the TARDIS and it's Ruby and the Doctor and Belinda, and they're like, oh, Poppy, she's going to be great. And then the heartbreaking scene where Belinda keeps passing the Doctor, and the Doctor, they pass back and forth. Is it Poppy's little, like, is it like a cardi sort of thing? And it keeps getting thinner and thinner. And that's the memory fading out, getting thinner and thinner. And then we look, and Poppy is gone. And Belinda doesn't remember. The Doctor pretends he doesn't remember, but he does remember. And Ruby somehow remembers. Like, I'm guessing it's to do with 73 yards. And I'm guessing it's not going to be explained, but maybe in future series it'll be explained. And Ruby's like, you guys are all mad, you don't remember Poppy. Poppy, the Doctor and Belinda's daughter. Poppy, you don't remember her. And it's really great that she changes his mind and goes, you don't leave anyone. You saved me when I went out of existence. You saved Belinda when she went out of existence. You don't leave anyone. And that is such great. And also, I forgot to mention earlier, with Conrad forgetting everything, not forgetting everything, getting like wish to be happy. That is such great character development from Ruby, because I don't think Series 1 Ruby would have done that. And I also think the Doctor has rubbed off on her a bit and has made her be more, you know, this is something I feel Doctor Who's been lacking. The Doctor has always been, we don't side. We don't side with people. We don't go, you're bad, you're good. We give everyone the best possible opportunity, the best possible outcome at the end. And he needed that knocking in from Ruby. It's like a not paradox loop, like a bootstrap paradox. You know, the Doctor makes Ruby feel this way, and then Ruby makes the Doctor feel this way. It comes full circle, and I really did like that. I was a bit annoyed we're not bringing Poppy back. Please don't bring Poppy back. I really hope Poppy gets forgotten and it was a nice little thing for us, the audience, but it's not canon. She's not a Time Lord. What does that mean? And that did happen in the end. Obviously, Poppy is now just Belinda's daughter, which we'll get to. The Doctor's in the TARDIS. Oh, hang on, yeah, before all this, I want to touch on Omega just quickly. Omega's there. Hi, Omega. Not a great design, in my opinion, for old fans. For new fans, it looks very, very cool, but for old fans, I was really hoping we'd see him with the mask, which we didn't. And he was destroyed very easily. I think that was sort of a good explanation of he's very weak because he's become his own, like, ancient god in his head, because he's so old now, he is very frail, which I like. He was destroyed very, very easily. I would have liked if he'd have escaped, but he didn't. I don't know who voiced him. I didn't check at the end. But you did a good job if you're watching this, which you're not. The Doctor gives a little baby Des, who's the wish baby, to Carla and says like, oh, this baby needed a mother. Who's the best mother I could think of? And it was Carla. And I thought that was really, really special. And I feel like it does really praise foster parents a lot, because they do, like, as much as it sounds quite horrible, raising a kid that isn't your own sounds like it could be a struggle, but Carla's done it hundreds of times, well, not hundreds, but she's done it loads of times, and she's raised Miss Ruby Sunday to be this lovely person, and it really, I like the fact that they took baby Des to Carla. I think it's really good, and Cherry, obviously, I'm forgetting Cherry was there as well, good old Cherry Sunday, and I do feel like this is the end of them now, which I thought last year, but I did know they were going to be in this series. Now, I think this might be the end of the Sundays, and that makes me sad, because I really like the Sundays, you know, they were great, they're really great. Just touching on something earlier as well, the Rani, Mrs. Flood revealing herself to Ruby and Belinda. I was really annoyed we were robbed of that last week, but we got it this week, and I'm really happy with that, because I'd been missing that. I've been missing, the big reveal, the big shock, so I'm glad that happened. This episode has made me treat the last episode and the end of the Interstellar Song Contest way better than I'd treated it already. You know, now I can respect that's a really good setup for it. I'm very happy. Anyway, Ruby goes, Doctor, you don't leave anyone behind. This isn't what you do. And the Doctor's like, right, I need to put all this regeneration energy into the time vortex and it'll bring back Poppy, bring back the real world. Oh yeah, that was it. There's a crack in time. And the Doctor's like, oh, because remember in the first episode, and Belinda's like, go get Alan. And he's like, what's this? It comes full circle. That crack was caused by something. I don't really remember. I can't really. I've just watched the episode, but the Doctor uses the regeneration energy to fill that, bring life back to what it normally is, and it's revealed Belinda has always been wanting to get home to see Poppy. She wants to get home to see Poppy. That's what May the 24th has always been. It's about her getting home to her daughter, and we find this out in the most amazing way. And the Doctor speaks to Poppy. Something I didn't like. Poppy, I can't have kids. You can have kids. You literally say to Donna, I've been a father before. You also say, I've got a granddaughter called Susan, which you do. We've seen her. So, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that was another thing I didn't like about the Rani. She was like, oh, you know, oh, Time Lords, we can't reproduce. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Otherwise, how are you a race? You know, how does that work? I don't know. But the ending was amazing. I loved it. I do think Ncuti's regeneration could have been better, though. Like, he didn't really have much of a speech, and he just sort of went. Oh, and Jodie was there. Forgot to mention that. Jodie Whittaker, the 13th Doctor, showed up. Now, my mum hasn't really seen the 13th Doctor era. I think she's seen a few episodes when it started. And she's very much on the thing of, like, Jodie's a great actor. Jodie in Doctor Who is terrible. I'll stand by that to this day. However, I think after her era, she's taken a lot of the criticism on her shoulders. I went fair play, because everybody hates on her. So she's got to be very strong, and she's still smiley, and she still treats Doctor Who when she talks about it in such a great way, and I really do respect that, and I have no problem with Jodie. The 13th Doctor, I want to smash her head into a wall with a brick. She is so unlikable, so contradictive, and so annoying, but in this episode, she's very much the Doctor. I believe that's the Doctor. Why is she always out of breath? That's something that annoys. She's always out of breath, Jodie Whittaker. She's always like, guys, right, we've landed in this new spaceship, and I don't know what we're gonna do. And it's just like, shut up. She wasn't out of breath this time. Anyway, yeah, weird little cameo. The Doctor saves the day. Belinda's at home. Yeah. He doesn't say bye to Ruby, which upsets me a bit, because, you know, Ruby Sunday is literally your first companion in this body. So, you know, should have said bye. He didn't. He's like, oh, I'm regenerating, but never alone. Opens the door, and then it's Joy, the star. And I think that's quite a nice touch. Because Joy to the World, I'm not going to lie, didn't like very much. Wasn't a big fan of the episode. But after this episode, again, I can go back now and watch Joy to the World and think, this is much more. I like this a lot more. And then the moment comes. Gatwa regenerates. And it's a big beam of regeneration. It's a massive one. It's not just the normal standalone white, yellow LED strips coming out of the arms and the head and the legs. It was the full blast. Is it showing off the Disney budget? Yeah, probably. But also, he did suck all of his regeneration energy into this vortex, so it does make sense. And then we get the big one. Billie Piper. Billie Piper is the next Doctor. I don't know. Look, on the one hand, I'm really, really happy. It's so lovely to see Billie back in Doctor Who after, get this, 12 years? She was in the 50th as the moment. But forgetting that, is Billie Piper's first time in Doctor Who in 16 years. 16 years. People doing their GCSEs right now weren't born when Billie Piper was last in Doctor Who. So on one hand, it's really lovely to see her back in the show. On the other hand, and this is the one I'm sort of playing with a bit more, and the boat I'm in more, we need to move forward. We need to move forward. Like, we're just sticking with the same old cast. Oh, by the way, a quote I did like when Ncuti was like, "Oh, it's you. I'm glad you're not the other guy. He always shows up." That was really funny. But going back to it, it just feels like we're stuck in this loop of Russell T Davies bringing back people. And it made sense for Tennant. A lot of people said that David Tennant shouldn't have come back for the 60th, but my argument was it was the 60th. The 60th anniversary of this great show, which has brought up kids for generations. Let's bring David Tennant back. Sure. This is just an average Saturday night in the middle of May in 2025. Why is Billie Piper back? You know, why is Billie Piper back? On the other hand, she's not playing Rose, she's not playing the moment, she's playing the Doctor. So I'd like to see where this takes her. My only thing about this that I'm thinking is, right, A, she's back. Does this mean there's a Christmas special that Russell knows about that's being filmed or has been filmed and we haven't been told? Please. Or B, is it going to be a fake out regeneration? It's going to cut to the start of the next episode and it's going to be like, oh, I'm this body? What? And it phases and it's a new Doctor and it's just a little comedic thing. Or maybe she's in a comic relief. I tell you what, no, I like that. That's my theory from going on now. Billie Piper is the Doctor for a comic relief special. And then she regenerates again, and then it's going to be the next Doctor. That's my theory. Please let that be true. I'd be happy with that. Although it would mess up the lore a little bit. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. It should have just faded to Black Man. Well, I don't like this. I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of Billie Piper as the Doctor. Nothing against her. Just she's known for being Rose and the moment. Don't make her the Doctor. But they've done it. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens. My final thing on this is going to be talking about the War Between the Land and the Sea. Just quickly. The Sea Devils are my favourite classic villain. What have they done to the Sea Devils? Look at them. They're fish. They're sexy fish. Just a woman. It's just whacked you. It's just a woman in like a fish mask. You know, that's not a Sea Devil. It's not a Sea Devil. I must admit, I'm not as hyped for the War Between the Land and the Sea because of this Sea Devil BS. Maybe I'll grow to it, I don't know. But anyway, that's been my Season 2 ranking. If you're watching this in the full video, I will do a little tier list next. If you're just watching this on its own, thank you for being with me on this journey. My channel has grown massively in the past 8 weeks of Doctor Who. I went from being on 320 subscribers on the 12th of April with the Robot Revolution to now on the 31st of May being on 750. That's incredible. That is really, really great, and I've loved doing this 5 videos a week for the past 8 weeks. It's not completely over yet. I've still got a podcast coming out tomorrow, well, it'll probably be Monday, with Jack Collins, where we talk about our final thoughts on this series, and I've got a video coming out next Saturday where all of the Season 2 episodes will be bundled into one long video. It's looking to be about 2 hours, and now that Ncuti's gone, the week after, there'll be a long 4-hour video of every Ncuti episode ranked. So look forward to that. If I can be bothered to edit it. It might be a bit later. I need a little bit of a break. I've been going absolutely ham on this channel. So just let me have a few days to eat some toast, rest a little bit, and we'll return bigger and better than ever. But anyway, I'm talking about it in a few weeks. For now, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to rate the Reality War a 9 out of 10, which I never do. 4 out of 5. That seems less. 4.7 out of 5. 4.7 out of 5 for the Reality War. Very, very, very good episode of a very, very, very good series. It was better than Empire of Death, and I'm happy. I'm very sad that Ncuti's gone though. Rest in peace, my king. The 15th Doctor will always be one of my favourites. Sad times. But let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. If you want to leave a like and subscribe again, it means the absolute world. You can leave a super thanks. You can, get shouted out in the next video, whenever that may be. But thank you so much for watching. Have a good night's rest now. You've earned it. You've earned it. And yeah, goodbye, farewell, bah. Turn this light off, it's bloody boiling.